After a fanfare of trumpeters, a public proclamation will be made declaring Charles as the new king. This will be made from a balcony above Fairley Court in St. James's Palace by an official known as the Garter King of Arms. He will call God Save the King, and for the first time since 1952, the national anthem will be played with the words God Save the King. The new king will then take the coronation oath in front of the watching world. During this elaborate ceremony, he will receive the scripture as symbols of his new role, and the Archbishop of Canterbury will place the solid gold crown on his head. Charles has become head of the Commonwealth, an association of 56 independent countries and 2.4 billion people, for 14 of other countries as well as the UK. Charles was born to Elizabeth and her husband Prince Philip on November 14, 1948. He was born in Buckingham Palace in London at 9:14 p.m. just over a month later. At the age of 73, Charles is expected to be the oldest British monarch to be crowned, and he has endured the longest wait to ascend the throne of any heir in British history. Many people ask what next after the death of Queen Elizabeth. It's expected that Charles will be officially proclaimed king. That will happen on St. James's Palace in London in front of a ceremonial body known as the Accession Council. This is made up of members of the Privy Council, a group of senior MPs past and present, and peers, as well as some senior civil servants, Commonwealth High Commissioners, and the Lord Mayor of London. More than 700 people are entitled in theory to attend, but given that short notice, the actual number is likely to be far fewer, as at the last Accession Council in 1952, about 200 attended. The death of Queen Elizabeth will be announced by the Lord President of the Privy Council, and the proclamation will be read aloud. This proclamation is then signed by a number of senior figures, including the Prime Minister, the Bishop of Canterbury, and the Lord Chancellor. The King attends a second meeting of the Accession Council along with the Privy Council. This is not a swearing in the style of some other heads of state, such as the President of the USA. Instead, there is a declaration made by the new king, and in the line with a tradition dating from the 18th century, he will make an oath to preserve the Church of Scotland. In 2005, Charles married Camilla Parker. He divorced his first wife, Princess Diana, in 1996, and she died a year later in a car crash. Many people confuse Charles I and Charles II. Charles I succeeded his father, James I, in 1625. His reign was troubled and led to the English Civil War. He married a Catholic, which offended many English Protestants and dissolved Parliament a number of times when faced with opposition. He was defended by Parliament in the Civil Wars and imprisoned for treason. He refused to cooperate and was later executed in London in 1649 as England briefly became a republic run by Oliver Cromwell.